Ezra, I swear to
Hi.
God, if you posted Loli in this slideshow,
Oh, no.
I can't see.
Sorry, I got it out of my system.
We'll see about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, well, hello. You are listening to the Micro Machines Podcast. Not much of a cold open there.
More of just a warning, Ezra.
How are we all doing today?
Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Doing pretty fine.
Doing swell,
So,
thank you.
Shall we do some introductions?
I think we shall.
Well, you got Callum, the guy who's speaking now, the guy from the land of the long white cloud.
I'm Ezra. I'm podcasting from the land of enchantment in my enchanting closet.
I am Dennis. I am recording from Ontario, now open for business, from my tank sweater.
Name's
Jack.
Gregg.
Oh,
God damn it, Jack.
So smooth.
yeah, we should have made a list or something. I'm Jack. I am also in Ontario. It's dark outside.
Name's Gregg. Out in SoCal. Currently sweating in my garage.
Is that all
You,
this?
you really need to give Craig an introduction.
Oh, yeah. If Craig could speak, he'd say, "Hi, I'm Craig. I'm listening."
Now recording.
Now recording.
So the subject for today is the M50 Ontos. Ontos meaning thing in Greek. And the caption for this one is, if one is good, more must be better.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's hot.
Look at this unit.
Yeah, so the M50 Ontos was designed as a airborne carried light tank destroyer. You know, basically to fill in for the M56 Scorpion. It kind of acted as an interim between the M56 and the M55 Sheridan.
Interesting.
So
The tracks look the same.
So we'll get into it further, but it is very much based off the M56. The suspension shares a lot of similarities. Yeah, it was
Unique.
designed to stay nice and light, but provide as much firepower as possible. Basically, it was the reverse of the M22 Locust. The M22 was small, but no armor, no firepower whatsoever. It just had the 37mm cannon, which, when it was released in 1944, it doesn't really do much, does it?
Nope.
You know what it looks like?
What does it look like?
If you've ever seen Star Wars, the TX-130 Saber class fighter tank from the Republic. Kinda.
Oh yeah,
Speak English.
I see the similarities. Yep, I see it.
So
Before we
that's-
just get started, quick question. I'm assuming this was air transportable.
Yes, the idea of this was to be airlifted in, whether it be aircraft or helicopter.
Nice.
Second question: is it air droppable? Because in theory, the M551 could be.
I mean, if you attach a few parachutes to this, yeah, you could. I don't see why
Oh.
not.
I do love me a little bit of airborne.
How much does it weigh?
I think it's in the slides somewhere. I can't really remember. Lost my notes, but
Do you want me to go to the next slide?
yeah, we'll kick it off with the next slide. So I think the first thing we'll talk about is the armament, because, well, it's probably the most impressive part of the entire tank. So
wow.
basically, the M50 Ontos was armed with 6 106mm recoilless rifles.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
If one of these is good, more must be better, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
See your point.
So the way that these fired, the doctrine for these was to fire either one at a time, or they would fire all 6 at the same time. Usually firing canister, anti-personnel, high explosive, stuff like that. You imagine 6 of those firing all at the same time.
6 canister rounds just going off. Can you imagine?
I'd hate
Yeah,
to be downrange of that.
Well, apparently even to be behind one of these when they fired all 6, if there was a building behind it, it would pretty much take out any window and the wall behind it, because it was pretty powerful.
Well, that's what you get when you get recoilless rifles.
So the way that you actually sighted these rifles onto target, it didn't have a rangefinder or anything like that. It actually had between 2 to 4 M8C spotting rifles. So these are basically 50 caliber machine guns mounted onto the barrels, and they fired a burst only of tracer round. It was a special type of tracer round. It couldn't use standard ammunition. It used a special tracer round which had the same ballistics as the 106 recoilless rifle rounds.
Oh, that's cool.
So the way that these worked is, You put yourself on target, and then you'd fire off a burst of these tracers to see where they landed. From there, you could adjust your sight and then fire all at the same time.
Nice.
Question: these are not M2s, I'm assuming. Is this the same sort of deal with the M2 Bradley, where you had like those port-firing M16s, which were not actually M16s and could not be used unless they were fired through the port? Is that like the same sort of deal we got here?
So these are only used for spotting. So they
Right.
only fired a burst round. I mean, they had
So
1,000 rounds, but
okay, so it is sort of the same deal where it's like they've developed, they had this perfectly fine M2, but they decided not to use it for whatever reason and developed something that was just similar enough that Gaijin could implement the alternative in War Thunder, but in real life it was completely different.
pretty much.
Version.
Pretty
Alright.
much. But yeah, so the main idea of the spotting rifles was the round and the way that would fire had the same ballistics as the 106 rounds. That way
Huh.
you could actually pretty accurately put yourself on target using them.
How
So
how are the 106s reloaded?
manually with the loader outside.
Oh,
Have fun with that.
I
Yeah.
imagine this would be perfect in a firefight.
Oh yeah. And you got
just look at the armor.
Bro, for once, War Thunder's reload times would be accurate.
yeah. But yeah, to reload these, it was one at a time with the loader outside. Now, take into consideration there are 6 recoilless rifles, right? The M50 could only carry an additional 18 rounds inside.
Oh, so 3 reloads.
Yeah, if
Oh,
you
that's
fire
great.
them all at once, you only had to reload 3 times.
I mean,
Efficient.
it's only 3 more additional times to die, so not too bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
you're
not
only
the
going to need
worst.
3 more loaders.
Yeah. So for these the recoilless rifles, they fired a number of rounds, but the main one being the M334 heat rounds, high explosive anti-tank. They could also carry the M346A1 HEPT round, as well as anti-personnel rounds, which probably be the canister rounds. Can anyone tell us what HEPT means?
High explosive, I'm going to say anti-personnel tracer.
It is high explosive plastic tipped.
Oh, so a
Oh.
HESH round.
Basically,
Oh,
it's a hit. It's the American version of the hash.
huh.
Yeah, we're different.
You like to be different.
Absolutely.
Of course, there's an American hash. Yeah.
And then, apart from the rifles and the spotting rifles, it only carried another 30 cal M1919A4 machine gun that had box rounds of 80 round.
How many
You're
boxes
serious?
of 80 rounds do they have?
How many what?
How many boxes of 80 round boxes do they have?
I think it carried another 1,000 rounds.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So the Browning was purely for personal defense or air defense. Although good luck trying to shoot down a MiG with something like that, but you can always try.
Imagine you're a MiG pilot, and out of everything on the battlefield, you get taken out by a World War II 30 cal.
I mean,
So
didn't
that's
the
the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, didn't like the Viet Cong try to shoot arrows up at like A6 intruders?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if they actually shot some down too.
I mean,
Yeah.
according to the book and movie Flight of the Intruder, they did.
Oh dear.
You mean the documentary, Flight of the Intruder?
Yes, really accurate.
This M50 reminds me of that like Cessna with the bazooka strapped to it.
Oh, yeah.
The Piper Grasshopper.
Yeah, that. Seems like a similar mindset.
Yeah. So the 106 recoilless rifles, because this was supposed to be an air mobile tank destroyer. Recoilless rifles against the main battle tanks, the T-55 and whatnot, weren't actually that good.
Really?
No, they didn't actually perform too well against MBTs.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. However, not much of a problem because the Ontos didn't actually encounter many other tanks. They did use it, however, for for a defensive position or taking out structures like bunkers, townhouses, anything like that. That's where they actually kind of redeemed themselves is they could be in a defensive position quite nicely and defend, or just obliterate any standing structure in front of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that is always a nice attribute.
But it was actually in the Dominican Civil War. They used the Ontos as well against the rebels, and the Ontos actually managed to take out what was it? It was a French light tank, AMX 13.
There you go.
Took out an AMX 13 as well as a few other tanks. So that's where it actually did perform well with tank on tank. But during the Vietnam War, it didn't actually see too much tank on tank. So that's the armament. Shall we go to the next slide? So
Boy.
here we can see the power plant. Yep. So the Ontos was powered with the General Motors 6-cylinder inline, which was a 302 cubic inch, 4.95 litre gasoline engine. So this managed to produce about 145 horsepower, which meant that it could get up to a top speed of 48 kilometers per hour, or 30 miles per hour in stupid units.
I mean, freedom
30,
units.
you
Hey,
don't mean
now.
30
Freedom.
cheeseburgers per SWAT team?
And this gave it an operational range of around 185 kilometers, or
Oh, you were about
115
to use
miles.
Imperial there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Must be really light then.
Yeah, so it was light, but it was still deemed to be too slow. I mean, it could reach 48 kph, but it was still deemed to be too slow for what it was.
Question for you, Callum. I'm not sure
Yep.
if you would have found this out. Do you know what the approximate fuel economy of this was?
Not sure. It didn't. Sources were a bit vague on this one
I'm gonna look it up right
again,
now. M50 Ontos fuel tank.
What's
because you
our
could
test
get
engine?
about 185 kilometers out of it.
Tesla.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do some math right now.
You would be
But
the
also,
one.
Shh.
but also as a note, so the transmission it used was the Allison XT95 transmission system as well.
Is that an automatic or a manual?
I think it was an automatic one.
Ooh,
Fancy
that
driving.
was a lot.
But yeah, so even with this engine, they thought for being air mobile light, it was still deemed to be way too slow. Funnily enough.
Okay.
See how Dennis is going with his fuel economy
Oh,
search.
keep going. I'll let you know when I find it out.
Okay. Well, we'll go to the next slide then.
Ooh,
So, armor. How much armor does the Ontos have?
Oh.
None.
that gun's
Oh,
not supposed to be
no.
pointing that way, is it?
No. The Ontos had at max about 13 millimeters of armor.
Oh God.
Jesus.
On the floor, it had 6.5.
And how much
Yeah.
did the Neubel Forstoik have again?
13 to 20.
Yeah, it was 20 something.
Yeah.
26, I
Okay,
think.
so
This had only marginally worse armor than a battle tank.
it was
Yeah.
made like
the
40 years
30s.
before. Yeah.
But yeah, so since it's supposed to be air mobile, it's supposed to be nice and light. So, yeah, no armor really to say of anything.
How many
You know,
Columbi is it?
it's about a Columbi. It's a pretty small tank.
Oh, that is small.
I mean, it
Even
had a
call
crew
it
of
tank.
3. Yeah, it's a tank destroyer basically, but it had a crew of 3, and it's reported they were very cramped. It was not too much fun because all you've got is a driver, gunner, commander, and a loader. That's it.
Look at those
Whatever,
recoilless
gonna commander
rifles
loader.
and how big those are. It's like the size of the actual vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they're longer.
How long is one of those guns in Columbi?
106 recoilless rifle length. I don't actually know that.
Aren't
I'm
they
not too
like,
sure, eh?
let's say like maybe 10 feet?
Yeah. I mean, the recoilless rifle is definitely really long. It's a very long barrel.
11
that's like
feet. Okay,
1
3 meters.
Wow.
Jesus.
And it still couldn't get the
1.9
velocity to take
Columbi.
out an MBT.
So that's what, like 1.9 Columbi?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
It's a
Okay,
pretty
so I
big
did the
gun.
math. The only source I could find listed the approximate range of this thing at 185 kilometers. It had a fuel tank capacity of 180 liters, which gives it the astonishing fuel economy of 1.027 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually not that terrible. That's actually pretty good for a tank. Wow.
For
Yeah,
sure.
so that's actually not bad.
But they were cruising down those dirt roads.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's actually significantly better than most Soviet tanks of the era. Sorry, I was nerding out there for a bit. Continue, please.
We'll go to the next slide, I think. So the suspension system. It was based off the M56 Scorpion. And the system it used is called a torsoelastic suspension system. I have
nailed it.
never heard of this. I've never heard of this one in my life until now. I spent a lot of time trying to research it, and the only article that I could find any decent sort of description of what it is was an article around the T92 prototype light tank, because that had the same suspension system. And that was after, 2 hours of trying to research this thing. But basically, what a torsoelastic suspension system is you've got 4 road wheels there, and they're individually sprung, but then they also have a torsion bar in them, but the torsion bar doesn't go through the hull, so it's like a cut-off torsion bar.
Knock off Christie suspension.
Sort of. It was basically giving a tank to torsion bar suspension system, but saving room, basically, which is for vehicles this small. Yeah, it just makes sense, really.
Callum,
But
question.
go for it.
You see this little bar I'm highlighting right now that runs over all the wheels?
Yep.
What's the deal with that? Is that actually the torsion bar, or is that like just some sort of cover?
I think it was a cover just to try and keep
Okay.
everything in line.
Oh, fair
Because
enough.
you'll notice there's no return rollers.
Yeah.
So this means that it was kind of prone to track slap and destroying its own tracks.
Well, see, they just haven't tensioned them enough.
So that bar is just like track braces.
Yeah, it's just strengthening really, because like it's got no real idler wheel at the back. The idler wheel is part of the road wheel system.
Are these tracks metal or are they rubber?
They were metal,
Oh,
so
okay.
they're the
Because they look.
same tracks as the M56.
Okay, because in the photos they always look like these Susi tracks, which the Canadian T-Lavs, which are basically just extended M113s use, and those are actually made out of, believe it, of all things, walnuts.
What?
Walnuts.
Yeah,
Uh,
walnuts.
Walnuts.
No way.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain that.
Well, okay, it's not fully walnuts, but basically it's a rubber compound which is more or less given volume with walnuts because Susi tracks, um, they're all rubber. There's no metal part in them. They are one-piece rubber band tracks, like the same type you get in the Tamiya kits.
Oh, that's cool.
But basically, I think the idea is that they use a super strong rubber compound, but they couldn't make the whole thing out of it, so they use walnuts basically to give it some volume, right? So don't let anybody tell you that those vinyl tracks are unrealistic.
But yeah, so one thing they did try to do to remedy the track slap was to put in these skids, but that was the best they could do, really. It was just system prone to damaging itself.
Self harm is not okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Get help.
and so here we got
Oh,
diagrams of the interior layout.
I don't like that very much.
Whoa.
It's claustrophobia right there.
Is that the door for the loader at the back?
Yeah, that's the door in and out. So it's just
Yikes.
basically these are diagrams showing the inside. So you can see where the like bottom left where the rounds were stored. So they were stored all along the floor. And then you can see the so top left you can see the spotting rifle, how it was mounted to the actual barrel.
Cal, what kind of optical system was used on this? Like, what kind of sights did they use?
So it
Oh,
used the M20A 3C periscope.
yeah, I see that now. And that was obviously like sighted for direct fire, right? It wasn't sighted in milliradians.
I think it was direct sight.
Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't really use this thing for indirect fire. And is there a slide after this one?
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Hmm.
So this is the active service.
I like that you can sum the entire active service of this thing up in one PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, pretty much. So, basically, in the 50s, the airborne, we're looking for something that was air transportable. Something like the Locust, but with firepower. Something that could actually do something. Ironically, it couldn't really do anything with tanks, but we'll just gloss over that fact. So, originally, they were looking at the M56 Scorpion, a light little vehicle with a 90mm cannon on it, which, if you ever watch a video of them firing, the front of the vehicle actually kicks up about 4 foot in the air.
Like those lowriders you see in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I've watched a video of it, and to say the recoil is violent is a little bit of an understatement. It's ridiculous. Plus, you got no protection for the crew and anything like that.
Simply
I mean,
remove the recoil.
Mm,
I simply choose not to have recoil.
yeah. So for the M56, they only built about 253 of those. They were still used a lot during the Vietnam War, but they just needed replacement. So the M50 was developed for the airborne, but it was actually the Marine Corps that used them the most
of course.
because
Shout out Gregg.
one of the things mainly is because of its lightweight. It could actually cross pontoon bridges where most of the heavier tanks couldn't, and slung into helicopters. So we all know what the Marines are like. Hey, Gregg.
Yeah.
Mobility, speed, all of that.
Low
Speed
What they
drag,
think
high
they're
speed
about.
operator.
So yeah. So the idea of the M50 was to be a tank destroyer, but no, it couldn't really go through an MBT. So direct support fire in the jungle with canister rounds or high explosive against fortifications. It was used a lot with distinction during the Battle of Hue. The Marines liked it quite a bit for that because it could take out buildings and whatnot. So the last time the M50 was used was in 1969. Then it was replaced with the M55. However, as I mentioned before, it was in the Dominican Civil War, and so an M50 and an M48 pattern destroyed 2 rebel L-stroke 60L light tanks, and the Ontos also destroying that AMX-13. So against a light tank, could do well, but apart from that, it was mainly used for bunker busting and stuff like that.
It definitely seems better fit for that than killing tanks.
Yeah, like when you got six guns there, it seems more fitting just to fire them all at once at a whole bunch of infantry or something like that. It definitely looks like more demo work than anti-tank work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised the engineers didn't really take up on that.
Yeah, it seems more like an engineer's sort of vehicle, really.
It's fun over function.
Yeah, honestly.
Absolutely. Who cares if it functions as long as it's fun?
It does definitely look like it would be a lot of fun.
Hey, so
Um,
if the T14 was a Formula One car, and the whatever we talked about last week, what did we say it was, a NASCAR car? Does it make this
Yeah.
a rally car?
Well, what is this? A 6-cylinder inline?
So yeah.
Yeah.
But also a hatchback.
So it's a Subaru. Hold on, Subarus have 6 cylinders. Well, I gotta look this up. Shit. Subaru.
thubawuu.
Thubawuu cylinder.
Thubawuu.
Yes. Okay. This is a thubawuu fowethter.
Boy,
That makes sense. Hatchback, 6-cylinder.
Yep.
about as effective.
So this is the grocery getter.
But then if we go to the next slide,
Yay!
Model.
we have some models.
No
Check
way.
out Voyager
Oh my
1.
god.
Beautiful.
So good news for Ezra Academy has a 35th scale Ontos.
Disgusting.
Build it.
Well, I'm
Actually, that's
already
is that
looking
the
it up
Academy
right now.
one down here.
So that's below the bottom left. That's the Academy one.
Oh shit, that actually looks pretty good.
It's
Yeah, Dennis.
interesting.
Don't shit talk Academy.
I will shit talk Academy all I want.
And I'm gonna shit talk
And then,
Tamiya then. Or Tamiya. Beloved.
Yeah,
you,
pronounce it right, you.
yeah, but you, Ezra, we know you won't be able to.
Right.
Ezra, do you want to get kicked off the podcast?
Okay, so this is how each episode goes. I'm either getting threatened to be murdered or kicked off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could just walk out of the closet again.
Doing that at the end of the episode. Just wait.
So it also seems like Voyager does brass barrels and
Ooh.
photo etch,
Gorgeous.
which makes sense. If you've got 6 barrels, you'd want them all to be brass.
Right?
I will say, the most exciting part of this, look at the cooling jacket on that M1919.
Ooh.
That is cleanly.
Yep. And then the on the right in the center, that is a 3D printed one.
That's
a
1 to 100.
1 to that one's a 1 to 72nd, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, when you zoom into it, you can definitely see the lines. But other than that,
That's
I
what
think it would
Mr.
work.
Surfacer is for.
But
What's
yeah,
this one down here?
It's the Academy one in a different box, I think.
yeah, that's another Academy one. And then the top right, OKB. Never heard of them.
Probably a good reason for
Look
that.
them up right now.
Yeah.
83 resin pieces and 106 metal parts. That doesn't seem that bad.
Wait,
Yeah, that's
actually?
nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of those short production resin kits, it looks like.
Mm.
I
And
will
then
say
that
here,
top
this,
middle one definitely looks old.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember the first hobby store I ever went to. It was this small place, and they had a lot of these older kits, and they had one for the it was like an atomic missile set, looked exactly like this, and it was from like the 50s.
Yeah, but that was that was how they used to sell model kits back then, was using the primary colors.
Exactly.
Yeah, I watched a good video on YouTube about that, about how model box designs and stuff came about, and how they used, mainly blues or reds or yellows. They had a theme with them.
Notice the purple mountains in the back?
Well, that's because the this is after they did their nuclear tests.
Ah.
Nah, bro, that's on Mars, dude.
It's like that.
Lines
You guys ever
between-
seen that like copy paste thing about 50 cals on Mars?
No.
No.
Oh,
Indulge
like-
us.
oh crap. You see, you're a Martian Marine. You've been conscripted, and you're put on the space shuttle heading to Mars. You have to serve as a door gunner and pick up some wounded. And as you're landing, you use this old clunky metal thing and shoot down the rebels. You look on it. Stenciled onto the side is Tunisia 1942 and Okinawa 1945, and then you scribble on Mars 2077.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
50 cals will never go out of service.
No.
No.
Oh god, no. They're too good.
Could they?
When were they invented? It was like 1918, weren't they?
Yeah, they were originally invented as anti-tank guns.
Incredible.
Oh God, I'm reading. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I'm reading about the Academy kit, and apparently, barrels are in 2 pieces.
Oh,
Ah.
oh, you guys are big fans of Academy now, aren't you?
Hey,
That-
hey. That's just because someone's in 2 pieces and they're different, Ezra, doesn't mean they're bad.
That OKB set looks really good though.
Yeah, it does actually look pretty nice.
Made in the EU.
What? I'm gonna buy one of these just to spite you guys.
Do it.
If I can find
Please
it for
get the
less
Voyager
than,
set if you do.
I will. If I can find it for less than $500, that is.
Everyone, gaslight Ezra into buying one of these.
Ezra, you should definitely buy one of these.
Give me
Yeah, bro, I thought you already
$500
did.
and I will. That's literally how much this is on eBay.
New Patreon goal: buy me a better mic. Get Ezra one of these. Send Gregg for a vacation in Hawaii. What are we getting you, Callum?
Here.
3D printer.
Nice. Jack,
3D
what about
printer,
you?
Of course.
All right,
Oh.
2 3D printers, trip to Hawaii, a better mic, and an Academy 3/5 scale M50.
Oh, and I
That's
need
our Amazon
some,
shopping list.
I need the 7 photo etch sets for the USS Enterprise.
Hmm.
Oh crap, that's gonna be.
Oh, that sounds. Oof.
I do not envy you, Jack.
Rip.
So, how much are those kits going for Ezra?
$500.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Jeez, I thought it was bad here.
Wait, literally?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 535.
That's
Dude,
Dude, at
ridiculous.
this point, it would be cheaper for you to just buy the 3D file for it and print it.
Just buy the actual thing.
Yeah, honestly.
It's weird, but 3D. I mean, the PE sets for it are like $20
There you
less.
go.
But yeah, so that is the M50 Ontos, Greek for
Yay.
the thing. It definitely looks like a thing.
That it does, yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Gal.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime.
All right, well, we have a segment on this show called Hill to Die
Oh
On.
God.
Basically, someone comes on, has a bad take, and defends it. This week, you might have thought it was modeling related. No. Gregg believes pineapple is good on pizza.
Damn straight.
What do
But
you have
why?
to say for yourself?
I don't have to say shit. That pineapple's good on pizza.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
depends on what you're having
Yeah, you
with
won me
it.
over.
All
I
right,
side
look.
with Gregg on this
Picture
one.
this. Picture this. You go to Domino's or whatever the fuck your local pizza shop is. You're like,
Right.
yo, on a medium pizza, garlic crust, cheese, all the fixings, jalapenos, Canadian bacon, or you can get real bacon if you're a man.
Excuse me?
Extra, extra jalapenos, and then boom, pineapples. Get that savory, spicy, meaty sweetness. It's just a perfect combo. Can't beat it.
Can't argue with that.
not-
Me with a good time.
I was already on Team Pineapple. I don't know what to say.
God damn it.
Well, no, on what was it, the Plastic Posse? This is a bit of a contentious issue.
Maybe we should fight them about this. Maybe
I
we
was
should
going to
bring
say fight to the death. Who's the better
would-
podcast?
It would get us more listeners if we bought the Plastic Posse.
Hey,
Well, I mean,
Plastic Posse, pineapple is fucking great.
Plastic Posse, where y'all at?
Well, I have been texting Scott from the posse, so I'll
Shout
bring it
out,
up with
Scott.
him.
Bro, your next text message, just say, Greg says pineapple is better on pizza, backed by MMP.
Hate us.
MMP's
Yeah,
still
just
behind this one. Bloods versus
text him at
Crips.
3. Text him at 3 a.m. just saying pineapple good.
Oh, by the way, I don't get why people hate pineapple on pizza. Like, it makes no sense. What even is the argument that it shouldn't be on pizza?
It's a
Because it's
fruit.
not original.
Pineapple on pizza was actually invented by a Canadian of all people.
Exactly.
They just called it Hawaiian because Hawaiian pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple's great on everything.
You know what is
Okay,
good?
there's where we
Pine-
have a problem. Pineapple's great on everything?
Yeah,
You gonna have a pineapple salad?
yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's
I
called a
mean,
fruit salad.
That's not
Yeah, no, no.
That's not a great argument.
Okay.
He thought he had something.
I thought I had something. It's late. It's late. You have to cut me some slack here.
Boo, get better material.
Nah,
Pineapple
is
and
good?
fish. That might not be good.
No.
You know what is
Pineapple
good?
Sounds very
fish
Hawaiian
is
though.
good.
Pineapple and chocolate is good. You get
Okay.
pineapple
that sounds
slices and
good.
then pour chocolate over it. Oh, that shit's
Oh.
good.
Really, any citrus fruit with chocolate is really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, orange and chocolate.
Oh. What do you guys think
It's
of ginger with chocolate?
Get out
Awesome.
of here.
Yes.
Amazing.
5 out of 10. Depends on the mood.
Well, that wasn't a lot of a hill to die on. We all kind of
No.
agreed on that one.
Actually,
Plastic Posse Podcast. We are out on these streets defending pineapple on pizza. What are you going to do about it?
Calling you out.
okay. So on a side note, I got sidetracked from looking at kits of the Ontos and just scrolling through kits on eBay, and I found a Girls Und Panzer 4 kit.
No.
Stop it. Stop
Oh,
it.
no.
No.
Ah,
No.
Ezra. Ezra, drop it.
Get
It looks atrocious.
I
Good.
will
But-
say,
Get it.
I will say
maybe
this:
it's
the Girls and Panzer kits are by and large actually just either Tamiya or Asuka kits, which are really good, and they don't put the figures in them or anything, so don't worry. It's basically just a Reeboks and usually different decals, but the base kits are usually like pretty high quality.
Oh, but I want a
That is not me, however, condoning you buying them. You are not allowed to buy those.
I want a bright pink M3 Lee.
They don't come right from pink, right?
I mean, it's only 41
There's always
bucks.
primer and paint.
Oh, you gotta paint it pink and then do like all sorts of weathering on it.
That would be cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Actually, I've got a photo to send to you guys, and it's because I've got the Tamiya pink primer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Tammy does a pink primer.
Join the Discord. The link is in the description if you want to see Callum's collection of primer.
No, that collection wasn't primer. That's just base paint I've got.
Well, yeah.
Feel like a Japanese cruiser at Midway. There's like 20 moths above my head.
Lamp.
You need like
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lamps on right now.
You need to hang your cat from the ceiling on like a harness.
You try playing with them, that'd be it. Making friends and shit.
you need to make a
Well, that was. Sorry, go ahead.
no. We're pretty much just making a channel in the Discord server for like whatever just random stuff pops into our head.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have many channels now.
Yes.
Join the Discord. Talk
Hey, if
about
people
food.
join the Discord, or is there just gonna be random people joining the podcast? Like
Yes.
just like hopping in and out of the voice chat?
Yes,
We do a bit of trolling.
we have an anime channel.
Thanks
Oh,
to
boy.
me.
That was A Hill to Die On.
That
Now,
you
we're gonna
will
be talking-
die on that hill.
oh yeah, we will. Yeah, now this week we're just going to try out something a little bit new. We're going to be posting some photos of what we think some of our best models are, as well as just some general updates. So, yeah, since I made the slides, I go first. Yeah. This is a 24th scale Tamiya Supra, the A90 version. Very nice. It was the first car I ever did. I love lacquer paints. I made my own decals for it. Like the Japanese Space Agency special. Yeah. Gregg, you might relate to this. I did the Tamiya R35 in 35th scale. Brush painted that thing. Very nice.
Hashtag we're not squad.
Yes, exactly. Although I will say the decals, the French roundels on the front just did not want to go down.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I had that with my R35. They just, yeah,
Yeah.
they just fused.
I mean, generally speaking, people don't seem to like Tamiya decals, and I generally don't find anything wrong with them, but this was the one kit where I was like, yeah, having microsol and microset's not a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helped.
But other than that, probably the other model I'm pretty proud of from this year is this 1/32 scale Italeri CF104D. I've got a bit of a thing for the Starfighter, not just because it's the only modern kit of a Canadian jet you can make, but also just because it looks cool. Like,
Sleek.
as a little bit of backstory for anyone who doesn't know it, so the CF104 was developed as basically a point defense interceptor. So like you can see it's shaped like a missile, right? It's got it's got extremely stubby wings, a huge what was it, J79 afterburning turbofan. The point of it was basically when the Russian bombers were flying overhead, it would just shoot off like an ME-163 Comet straight up, and it would come back to Earth, right? So the Canadian Air Force decided, yeah, we're going to take this interceptor and repurpose it as a tank buster. And basically, for its entire life in the RCAF, it flew in Germany, flying ground attack. That was
Cool.
that was the point. If the Soviets ever crossed the Fulda Gap, you would see these things flying unguided rocket runs on their tanks.
Nice.
Yeah. There's just another view of it. But yeah, this was the 2-seat trainer version. Really cool. I used Alclad paints on it for the first time. I think they came out half decent. I should still polish it at some point. But it is definitely a nice kit. If you ever want to do an aircraft, it's, as far as Italeri kits go, pretty reasonable. I could definitely recommend it. And then this is a 1/72 scale CF18 from a company called Canuck Models, and I got this actually at Wheels and Wings. Jack, they're still selling these there, believe it or not.
Are they
They were like
actually?
$20.
Canuck models.
If I send you money,
Yeah.
will you
models at
buy
Wheels
one
and
for me?
Yes, I will.
Oh yeah.
We'll send it to Jack. I don't have time to go to Wheels and Wings, but he does.
Yeah, I'll be going there tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
haven't sent your stuff off yet, but I'll throw a $20 bill in there. That'll cover it.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just have to probably wait till the summer, but I could grab one whenever I go.
Sweet.
There's like a whole stack of them in the basement, Jack. Like there's like 12 of them left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll probably still be there then.
Oh yeah, they hit them away. It's like in the far corner. Oh god, I'm talking to about specific hobbyisters. It's in the far like back corner of it. Like they've got a bunch of other kits there. It's just a stack of them. I'm sure they're still there.
Are they all in
But,
are they all in that camo scheme?
Yeah, so basically, I guess a little bit of a backstory to this model kit. So Canuck Models it was a one-man operation, I think, not entirely dissimilar from my decal operation, save for the fact that this guy actually knew what he was doing and had a silk screen printer, which is like what all the major companies use. Yeah, but basically, this is one of the few Canadian model kits that you can get. It is a modern Academy 1/72nd scale F18, but it's reboxed. So one of the things to do is they give you all brand new instructions, a new colors paint scheme that was actually developed at the Canadian Air Force Base. So the colors are 100% accurate if you mix them properly.
Nice.
But the big thing about this was that because Canuck Models made decals, right? This has very, very nice custom decals that are for the CF-18 Demo Squadron. I think it was like 2019 when they had the Battle of Britain bird. So basically, it's like just the Canadian Air Force CF-18. You can see here it's a normal gray scheme, but the top part of it is repainted to look like the old Hurricanes that the Canadian Air Force flew during the Battle of Britain.
That is awesome.
It was a really cool kit. It's kind of a piece of like Canadian model making history, if I can say that, just because it's like made by a Canadian company. Sadly, Canuck models no longer exist, which is honestly a huge shame because like I don't know if you can see it here, but without any decal setting solution, their stuff went right into every single panel line. Like they were probably some of the best I've ever used.
It's nice.
That's incredible. So
Yeah,
this
so,
kit is like it's MapleBoo Holy Grail.
Basically this right up there with the CF-105, yeah.
Dang.
What about the arrow?
Yeah, the CF-105.
Oh, I was thinking 104. God damn it.
Yeah, well, this is the CF-104.
Right.
Oh crap, I just realized I am kind of a MapleBoo anti. Oh well. Yeah, so shout out to Canuck Models, wherever you are. We love you, we appreciate you, we miss you.
I'll grab you one of those, Ezra,
Thank you.
by the way.
So this is one of mine. So this is the Tamiya SAS Jeep. And this one, honestly, has no business being one of the best models I've made, but it ended up that way. It was purely something that I just picked up for like a Christmas holiday, needed something to do. And yeah, somehow it just turned into one of the best models I've made. Don't know why.
It looks really good,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, I can totally understand that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, so it was like the first time I seriously went into chipping and all of that, and yeah, so went with what's called the heavy assault setup. So the SAS Jeeps, they had basically two setups. They had the light assault and the heavy assault. So the light assault would have the twin-mounted Lewis guns in the front with the passenger, and then it would only have a single Lewis gun in the back. Whereas the heavy assault, you have the 50 cal on the front, which I believe was a 50 cal taken off an aircraft. I don't think it was a standard one. And yeah, the twin Lewises in the back, and the driver had a Lewis gun as well. Although I actually put that Lewis gun in the wrong spot. It's supposed to be up higher, but it goes with my. Yeah, I just went. This is the driver's personal preference. It's going to be here.
Yeah.
He uses it when he's
Yeah,
doing
that's cool.
drive-bys.
Yep.
They'll never see it coming.
Nah. So, and this was actually the first time I properly used oil paint as well for doing washes and stuff like that. So, yeah,
That was a really
What-
nice looking model.
Yeah.
What company
Yeah.
is it from?
it's Tamiya.
Is it actually?
Yep, that's Tamiya one. It's actually a really good model. It's actually a really good one.
I love the grill modification. Well, weathering modification thing.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
do that yourself, Cal, or was that like a molded piece?
That's molded, so that's that's what they used to do back with the SAS. They'd remove a lot of the bars just to allow more airflow, so they didn't keep overheating. And that tank in the front is actually a reserve water for the radiator.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
That's really neat.
or you know.
And all that stowage was Tamiya.
yep. It all comes with the kit. So
Beautiful.
I've actually got leftovers from it, which I've used on other kits. And then this one here is my IGB. Is it IGB or IBG?
what's the IBJ?
It's one of those one. Yeah, it's that one I think. And this is the 1-700 HMS Middleton escort destroyer.
Hmm.
So this is the first time I used resin as part of the base, using the AK still water and the water gel effects.
Ooh, AK stuff. Please sponsor me.
Nah, they're gonna choose him over you now. Look at that.
Yep. So this will probably be the only 1-700 scale ship I'll ever do because my hand-eye coordination and eyesight just can't face anything that small again.
I'll say the explosion looks spectacular, especially how there's the white like foaming out where the explosion is.
Yeah, somehow that just happened sort of unintentionally. I wasn't actually trying for that, but to be honest,
Is
I
that
didn't really
great?
know what the hell I was doing anyway.
Guessing
Yeah,
that's a depth charge going off from one of like the K gun projectors.
yeah, that's the idea. It's supposed to be hunting a sub that's around the place. So I did that just because it'd be like, well, if you put it in water, yeah, it's all good, but you kind of want something a little bit extra,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
That definitely is an inspiration to go back to doing ships.
Yeah, I just won't do what Jack does with ships.
Electrical.
700 scale is all right though.
I mean, it's real small. The photo etch for it sucked. Like, the Middleton's got two 20mm cannons on it for anti-air, and the photo etch sprue supplied had about 6 of them, and I used all 6 of them to try and get 2.
Huh.
I was literally down to the last one trying to bend it properly without it breaking or flying off anywhere or anything like that.
I bet that was a very stressful night.
Yeah,
Don't breathe wrong.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much,
please,
eh?
Rob.
Yeah, and then next slide. So this is my
Oh,
35th scale TACOM SMK.
Oh, I love
Beautiful.
your MK.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so this one I went all out. This was during one of the lockdowns here in New Zealand, so I had all the time in the world to do this one. So I just went all out, bought all the snow effects, and spent 3 days just on the rusting effects around it. So this is
nice.
a completely what if.
So rusted.
Yeah, I was only supposed to do light rusting, but then I was enjoying it and I was quite liking the effect on it, so I just went, oh, I'm gonna have to break my own rules here, but oh well. So the fence is made from balsa wood, just made that purely by hand, and yeah.
Cool.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is incredible. That whitewash is
Yeah. So that whitewash was just purely putting the base green down, varnishing it, and then spraying flat white enamel paint all over it, and then getting a clean brush with terps, and then just using it to scrub it away in places where you'd expect it to be scrubbed.
right.
Yeah. So it comes. So what it does when you do that as well is that you can scrub away the paint, but then it highly thins the paint out as well, so it looks. So then it gives like this sort of faded streaking
That's
sort of
cool.
effect as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
those-
definitely looks like it's been in country for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so it's like the whole idea of it's just turning into late winter, early spring, so the thaw's sort of hitting, so it's not got snow on it, it's got icy slush, sort of.
Yeah.
That's my favorite time period to make dioramas of.
Yeah, I've because I did that with the VK3001H. I did as well. That sort of late winter.
Gives you a lot of like things to play around with, using the snow, but also the grass effects as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
This kit has been one of the kits that I've like always wanted to build since before I even got into modeling. I just thought this was the coolest kit because I bought the SMK on War Thunder, and ever since then I've just been wanting to build an SMK kit, but I could never cough out the money I needed to get one.
Oh, it's definitely a pricey kit. This one sent me back about $100. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's why I spent quite a bit. But it is a really good kit. This is the first time I started doing extra kit bashing and stuff. So like the tracks on the 75 turret and the two barrels on the rear. Those two barrels actually came from my SU 122 kit.
Nice.
So I just went completely fictional on this one.
Yeah, I was wondering where those came from.
Yeah, so they're just add-ons I decided to add just because the back was looking a little bit boring.
It's awesome, man. Props to you.
Yeah.
You did a very, very good job with that.
Yeah, that one's probably the one I'm most proud of so far.
All right. This is my Academy/Legend Canadian M113 from Bosnia in 1994, painted in UN white. I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I think it looks pretty good with the dirty white and just a little bit of mud stuck on the road wheels.
Because you need a tow missile for peacekeeping.
Yes. 2 tow missiles.
And a 240. I really like those rusted out tracks with the road wheels all worn like that.
Well, thank you. I was
Oh yes, those are nice.
really proud of how that came out.
Really gives it that depiction of it's an old vehicle,
Mhm.
but still in use to this
Mhm.
day.
I wish the AMPS judge had thought that before he wrote over weathered.
You need to include pictures of the
I
real thing.
know. That top. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
that's fine.
Yep, there we are.
In the top picture, it just shows what the kit was like. Just probably, 70 resin parts, a shit ton of photo etch.
There we go.
And then Dennis made the stencils for the UN, and also the flag decals. And then I made the license plates myself.
Yes, sir.
And
Very nice.
Placata production flags. Then here's my. It was a master box figure. I don't even have a name for it. It was just I had this spare base I built up like 2 years ago. I had that figure. I'm like, oh, this can make a fun little vignette. Painted them up, put them together, and I ended up getting a gold for it. So not bad.
Go off.
It's very nice. I like how he's carrying that MG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching you put that together, and just like he can't make it any more detailed. Oh wait, he can.
I mean, I think I went as far as I could at that point, but looking back at it now, I'm really happy.
That's definitely one of my favorite builds of yours.
Thank you.
Dude, yeah, he just looks worn out.
Yeah.
He's just tired.
Like in that bomb photograph, I'm assuming you add like a background to this, right, Ezra?
Yeah.
If you put that in like some history book, I would not be able to tell
Wait.
that apart from the
That-
real thing.
That's not a historic picture
Nope.
that you were basing it off
No,
of?
that's the model.
That's what I thought.
What?
I just grabbed the.
Yeah, dude, that is beautiful. I would be thinking that's like a picture of the bulge
Oh,
and the
thank
Germans
you.
retreating. Like, phenomenal.
Yeah, I was. This actually got posted on the Ammo of Mig Instagram page back in October, I think. This is a story, but I'm still kind of proud of that.
How long did it take you?
I think like 7 or 8 days. It was really quick.
That's not bad.
That's the figure and the base together.
Well, the base I built maybe a year before that, and I remember it taking like 2 days, so relatively quick.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, So this is not the beginning of the best build so far. This is just a little update. I wanted to show you guys the infantry I'm working on right now. I got their little legs painted. And right now I'm working on that secondary strap that's almost the same color as their coat, but it's not. Actually turned out pretty nice. I'll send pictures in the Discord later. And then that tree, I really like how that tree turned out. The the trunk wasn't the best to work with, but I think with that glue, the resin glue you guys recommended, and that leaf puncher, it really did it justice.
Nice. Yeah, it looks pretty
It's
sweet.
looking great.
All right. Second update is I posted my first gaming video on the Micro Machines Podcast gaming channel.
Sweet.
It's a little VR video, some Battle of Midway, and then I got another commission build. It's a Hobby Boss AAV. Going to be starting that on Sunday.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Oh yeah. All right. Best models thus far. So I'm coming up onto a year of modeling. I think I'm about 10 and a half, almost 11 months in. This is one I'm working on now. It's the Tamiya R35 # Runout Squad. Took that picture as we were all editing this slide because I forgot. But yeah, that's my little R35 with the chain from Michael's little, what do you call that? Jewelry chain.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good detail.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that chain is really nice.
Mhm.
It was a fun little addition.
How did you weather the chain?
So I just primed it in black, and then I got this super like open bristled brush that's pretty stiff. Got some oily steel model color by Vallejo. Wet it down a little bit with some water, kind of chipped it, and then I got some enamel rust and just went in and out of each chain link.
Looking nice.
Oh, and then of course pigments.
Nice.
I love the texture that you can kind of see along it.
Appreciate it. I added what do you call it? It's not, when you sand down the plastic on like a road wheel or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a bunch of that from the kit and kind of sprinkled it on the turret a little bit.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, it wasn't much. It's kind of the bigger dots, I think, more so. There wasn't too much on there, but yeah, it's just a little bit. I'm actually glad someone noticed that.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
They aren't in order or anything, but this is one of my favorite builds that I've done so far.
Ooh.
I love the Chechen War era, and this one's a little not 100% historically accurate. There were only 2 T90s in this particular village. Don't ask me to pronounce it because to this day I still can't. But I took this to the IPMS show last year in Phoenix. Didn't win anything, which is totally fine. I'm new to modeling and everything like that. But Trumpeteer Beam P3, Zvezda T90, 3 scratch-built houses, all sorts of fun stuff going on there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't look like you've been only doing this for like 10 months.
Yeah, it's making me feel old now.
Y'all are too kind. I appreciate it. And then
That one's incredible.
thank you. This is one of my favorites. I've been wanting to build a tiger tank for
Ooh.
God ever. And this one's in Normandy. It's supposed to be Tiger 114, fought near Caen. And yeah, this is supposed to be the hedgerows north of Caen a little bit. There's a cornfield on one side, wheat field on the other, and tiger pulling in, ambushing Canadian armor.
Ew.
How did you do
Dang.
those flags?
What's that?
How'd you do the flag and the tarp?
The flag I printed off of my computer using just regular paper, and then I got the Tamiya cement, wet it down, or got water first, made it super wet so it kind of mold to the base, and then I got the Tamiya cement to hold it down, and the tarp was just PVA glue water mixture with toilet paper and hand painted.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, shout out to my wife for getting me a Splinter camo jacket for Christmas, so I could actually do that.
Thank
It
you,
looks
Gregg's
very
wife.
in scale. Yeah, thanks, Gregg's wife. So here's mine. This is I don't know if It didn't update. Okay, I added boxes just to show how old the kits that I was working with were. But this is like a really old 172 Airfix Scorpion kit. And like as you can see, it's tiny. The tracks are awful, but they have ways to be covered. You can kind of see in the bottom picture though how it is a little bit separate because it's just not great tracks. But I'm really impressed with it, like the size of it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That is a very neat little build there, dude.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
wooden
thanks.
base is sweet.
Yeah, I actually got that idea from a model magazine. Just found a piece of wood. Well, I'm in the country. There's rings of wood everywhere. And then that's just a mixture of sand and sawdust with fixed with PVA, and then some homemade grass tufts on there.
Nice.
Shout out,
Yeah.
this is kind of unrelated, but shout out Tyrone Mills. They are they're like a
Oh,
kind of a
yeah.
wood shop that's in the Eastern GTA. So if you're in the Eastern GTA and want to make this look right here, they're definitely a great place to hit up.
Man, I'm stopping there tomorrow. They have the best donuts.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. And then here's another one that I was surprised by. This is a kit from a Russian company called ZV Models. I got it for $2.99 at a secondhand store. And as you can see, it's really tiny. And I was honestly impressed by the build quality, like how, I don't know, just detailed everything was. Because, well, you can look at that compared to a toothpick. I did overweather it. That was a thing that I did, but I'm still impressed with it.
Dude, some of those old, really cheap kits you find in like the little thrift stores and whatnot, there's some hidden gems there, dude. And you definitely brought that one to life, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, this one was definitely a hidden gem. The box is made of like, that really thin cardboard that like that thin cheap cardboard. It's not an expensive kit by any means, but it's really detailed, and I was impressed by that. And then last one, it's my newest, so of course it's got to be one of the best. Dennis has seen this in person and
I have, yes.
can relate or can agree that pictures don't quite do justice, but it's my Chilean Martyr, also an old kit. It's a older Revell 172 kit.
Man with taste.
Yeah, not a great kit, very, very cheap, but I think I brightened it up really nicely. And it was one of my first times doing figures again, and they turned out pretty well.
What scale did you say this was again?
1/72.
Dude, that looks. I don't get how you guys do it with those smaller scales. That's great.
Thank you. It's like also just on like a block of wood. Thought I should point that out.
Very nice.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Oh, okay. Well, guess that was our best models.
Yeah.
Well,
Best episode too.
Good work, fellas.
this is just a quick PSA to anyone who's watching. So, we started a gaming channel because I think if most of us, if we're not making models, we're probably doing a little tomfoolery on the internets. But yeah, Micro Machines Podcast Gaming. We're gonna upload some videos. This is one of the most recent ones that we've uploaded. Actually, the most recent one is Gregg using his fancy VR headset to shoot down zeros. This is the second most recent one. Yeah, I've basically just been trying out games like Gunner Heat PC and uploading some tank content. So
Super satisfying, just saying. His content's great.
I've been ambushed at close range by T-72s if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that is us.
Yeah.
That's us.
So to all people listening, we will post all our social medias in the description. We do have the Discord server if you want to join it and see the behind the scenes of what the hell happens with us, or just general chat about whatever you want. Really, everyone's more than welcome to join us and get in with the crowd.
Yes, sir. Well then, that was a good episode, guys.
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
It was.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Got the whole team on. Well, almost.
Rip Val.
Yes.
Minus Val.
Ah,
We'll get him back.
Eventually.
I love recording over like 60% of the world's time zones. It's great.
yeah.
That is
yeah,
true.
it's
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's an
You should
accomplishment.
show him our timesheet.
Well then, thanks for
Okay
watching.
then. Thanks for the episode.
Pretty good episode.
Okay then, to our listeners, we'll catch you next time
Yeah.
then.
Sometime next week.